Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're featuring a Tissot. Now let's face it, 2 years ago Tissot were doing so well. They released the PRX, and the PRX was kind of an affordable, good looking timepiece. You could either have it in quartz or automatic. And to be fair, I think they're trying to rekindle that with the new release of their SeaStar range here. Now, the SeaStar has been going for years, quite a bit of time. Started off as a dress watch, then became more of a dive watch. But of later, of the past few years, the automatic was only available, I believe it was in a 43mm, quartz in a 40. But now they've shrunk it down, so you get an automatic movement in a 40mm watch. And to be fair, the price point of around £700, I dare say if you contact First Class Watches, they might do a deal. And mentioning them, I've got to say a massive thank you for them allowing me to review this piece. If you're in the Kenilworth area, in the Midlands, UK, well worth popping into their shop. If you're a bit further afield, well, I'll leave a link in the description now and also at the bottom of the screen. All I ask, if you do contact them, please mention the channel. So anyway, just look at it. I think it looks really cool. Sizes of this are 40mm, but that's the bezel. The case is a fraction smaller, so it wears ever so comfortably. Now, they do state on their specs it is 12.5mm thick. But honestly, guys, never always believe the specs. So I measured this and it's working out at 12.9mm. So do be aware of that when reviewers just print out the numbers, and always worth checking. The lug to lug on this watch is 45.5mm and the strap size on this is 20mm. Now the dial I think looks absolutely superb on this. They've done a really good job. I love this coarse straight graining they've got going on there and this blue paint. What's nice about it, because of the deeply kind of etched scores going on here, you get different hues of that blue. It looks black kind of in certain lights as you start to turn it. It looks so good, and I like that. You've got a dial which kind of doesn't give up all its secrets straight away. You keep catching it in different lights and it looks different. We also have applied hour markers on here. It always looks a bit more kind of expensive when done right, I think, and they do look good. And one thing as well, both the hands and the hour markers and the loom pip they've got a really nice kind of shade of blue loom to them. It does look actually very, very nice on this watch. The hands itself, they've gone for a very kind of polished look on there. The second hand does have the T for the Tissot on the back there with the little lollipop on there, and it goes right the way out to the chapter ring out there, so it really does kind of cover it. Mentioning that chapter ring, just look at that sculpting on there. It looks really good how they've sculpted that on there. I think it just gives it a kind of extra depth. And the fact that they've gone for a 6 o'clock date window down the bottom there, because it keeps it all symmetrical. Not borderline a right amount of text. Tissot with the year there, they're kind of the script they've used for that is been going back for many years. Powermatic 80, we'll talk about that in a second. 30 bar, 300 meter diver. So to be fair, dial looks fantastic. The crystal itself is a flat sapphire crystal with AR coating on there. Now the bezel, let's have a quick listen to the action of it here. Let's hear what it sounds like. Very solid. A tiny bit of play on it there on the back. I must say it lines up beautifully. As you can see, it's a 120 clicks, so you get the just in between a minute and then absolutely spot on. Let's whiz it round, because otherwise it will do my OCD hell watching going through the rest of the video if it isn't lined up. And there it is, lines up perfectly. Now you can grip it nice and easily on the side there. As for the insert, I'm not quite sure what it is. I did test it to see if it was maybe a sapphire insert or ceramic, but it wasn't reading that, so I'm not quite sure what it is. So unfortunately I can't tell you on it. It doesn't say in their blurb. Now when it comes to the case design, I quite like this. They've done this little cutout here. No reason for it. It just makes it a tad bit more interesting. So you've got brush work going on in the centre and polish work going on there. And I do like the way the lugs just sculpt down just quite nicely there. This is a very wearable watch, I must say. We do have a sign crown there with, decent crown guards on there. Let's just check. As we say, 300 meter diver. So yes, it is a screw down crown. No problem at all there. Now, it gets a bit more interesting when we look at the back here. This, we do have a display case on the back here where you can see the Powermatic 80 movement. Did put this on the time grapher, but it was coming out inconclusive. Now, there'll be a reason for that. The actual movement isn't really a Powermatic 80, though that's just a name they call for it. It's the ETA C07111 Plus. Now, it does feature 80 hours of power reserve. It's a 23 joule movement, but it has a synthetic escapement. Now, that's a bit where you hear the tick-tock, tick-tock. And basically, for a watchmaker, it's a nightmare because they're very hard to clean because of the material they use. But it should be no problem for the wearer at all. So yeah, solid movement. You shouldn't have any problems with that at all. Screw down case back, as you'd expect on a dive watch with this amount of water resistance. The actual strap here is a Tropic with quick release. As you can see, very standard kind of Tropic style on there. I do like they've gone to the actual trouble of fitting a black PVD buckle on there, and I do like that it's a little bit wider than a pin style. We do have two keepers. This is sort of fixed. It can move out of this keeping if need be, and this keeper is floating, but it does have a little party piece and it has a little notch there which lines up with these here. So it means when it's on the wrist, that keeper should stay locked when you put it into position. So that's kind of a nice touch, really. Let me put it on my wrist so you got an idea how it looks. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing my Zin GSG9 UX there on a brand new John Keeley custom leather strap from Black Island Watches. Leatherwork, sorry. I think it looks superb. Now, Bob has got the Vario on. This is the dual time one where this flicks round, which I will be doing a review of at a later date. So anyway, my wrist size is 7¼ inches, works out around about 18.5 centimeters, I believe. And just put this on, and there you go. That's it on my wrist. It's such a comfortable watch. There's no doubt in it. With the Tropic strap especially, it really does kind of sit nicely. As I say, this here, like there, it's just locked in. If I lift it up, you can see, you can just press it in there, boom, and it locks in. So it's going to stay put. It's a nice little touch. Stops it from moving around. Overall, I think it is quite a good looking watch, especially for the money, really. I dare say it might be a deal if you contact First Class Watches. Any comments, leave them in the description below. Leave them in the comment section below. I'll always try and get back to you. But most importantly, stay safe, guys. Bye.